Tonight we're going to speak about an epidemic, or what I'd like to call it a disease. This disease is probably in this room right now, and if left untreated, it can negatively affect our relationships, our happiness, our health, and even our success. We're not just going to talk about this disease. We're going to learn how we can treat this disease and stave it off so it doesn't negatively affect our lives. Does anyone want to guess what this disease might be? What disease I'm talking about?
Yeah, being so silent.
Excuse me?
Being so silent.
Being so silent, that's a good guess, but that's not it. Anyone else?
Asthma.
Asthma, it's not asthma, but that is a serious disease.
Too much TV.
Too much, that's another serious disease, but not what I'm talking about. What's that?
Alcoholism?
Alcoholism. No, but that's another topic maybe we'll cover at a later date. The disease I'm talking about is called complaining. Yes, complaining. The average person complains 15 to 30 times a day and doesn't even realize it. That's 5,000 to 10,000 complaints every year for each person. Some people may say complaining is like bad breath. You notice it when someone else opens their mouth, but you rarely notice it when you open your own mouth. There's this joke. There's these two construction workers. They have lunch every day together. And for 4 days in a row, one of the guys, he opens up his lunch bag, and there's a meatloaf sandwich inside his lunch bag. And every day he gets angrier and angrier. He doesn't want to have meatloaf anymore. He's like, another meatloaf sandwich? I don't like meatloaf. On the 5th day, he opens up his lunch, and guess what? He had a meatloaf sandwich in his lunch box. He got so angry, I never want to see meatloaf sandwich again. He threw down his lunch. His friend looked at him and said, hey, buddy, he's trying to be friendly, trying to be nice. He's like, why don't you ask your wife to pack you something other than meatloaf? The guy looked at him and said, what are you talking about? I pack my own lunch. As you can see, some people don't even realize that they're complaining. There's multitudes of things people complain about. We complain about the weather, we complain about traffic, we complain about our boss, we complain about our spouse, we complain about our jobs. Just on the way here, I took a cab. He complained about pedestrians, other drivers, and people honking at him. And believe it or not, 50% of Americans, approximately, complain about this guy. Our politicians get complained about. In William Bowen's book, A Complaint-Free World, Bowen defines a complaint as an expression of discontent, grief, or anger with how things are. He also includes gossip and criticism as being considered a complaint. It's okay to gossip as long as you would say what you would say in front of that person. And it's okay to criticize as long as you do the same thing. But you can't fake it. You can't say, oh, isn't that nice how ugly that dress is that she's wearing? You can't cheat like that. And it's okay to state a fact. You can say, wow, it's raining outside, the weather's pretty bad today. Rather than, bloody hell, it's raining again. That would be considered a complaint. So what complaining does to you, what you articulate, you demonstrate. You create your own reality with what you speak. So if you say negative things, you'll receive negative things. If you say positive things, you'll receive positive things in return. Let me give you a few examples. Have you ever noticed that people that complain about their health are always sick? Have you heard the term hypochondriac? Complaining will neither shorten the duration of your illness or lessen the severity. It won't happen. And doctors say 2/3 of the patients that they treat, they actually treat because the patients think they're sick rather than them having the underlying illness. Another example is in Bowen's book. He's a pastor for a church in Kansas City. There's a women's support group. And the favorite thing that the women in the support group do is they complain about men. You can't trust men. Men are terrible. Men are pigs. Blah, 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 blah. Do you find it interesting that these women have a hard time sustaining a positive, healthy relationship with men because they complain about them all the time? And finally, how about successful people? Do you find successful people be negative and complain all the time? No, they don't have time for that. Most successful people don't complain. Oprah Winfrey was interviewed once, and in the interview she said, I have nothing to complain about. And the interviewee said, of course not. You're Oprah Winfrey. Why? You're Oprah Winfrey. You have everything. And Oprah said, you're right. But I don't complain because I have everything. I have everything because I don't complain. Think about that. She attributes her success to not complaining. So what do we do about this? How can we keep complaining out of our lives? Well, I have a magic trick that's going to help all of us. Experts say if you want to change something in your life, you have to change your habit for 21 days straight. And the tool that you need is a little purple bracelet like this. And I happen to bring one for everybody here. Could you take one and pass it around? So the trick is, get a bracelet like this and you can put it on your wrist. It doesn't matter which wrist it is, any wrist. But you have to keep it there for 21 days. And if you're able to keep that on for 21 days, complaining will disappear in your life. However, there's one trick. Anytime you complain, criticize, or gossip, you have to take that bracelet off and switch it to the other wrist. It doesn't matter how many times, but every time you do that, you have to switch it to the other wrist. And your 21-day clock resets at 0 each time you do that. Whether it's an hour, a day, it doesn't matter. You have to switch and start counting again. But soon you'll see that this bracelet will act as a trigger for your subconscious and a filter for your words. You will start thinking before you talk, maybe even remaining silent when you may say something negatively. And over time, the words, the negative words, the complaints will stop coming out of your mouth and they'll start magically disappearing from your mind. And then you'll see that you'll become a happier person. You'll start being happier. People around you will be more positive. You'll be less pessimistic. You'll be more grateful. Some people have been reported that after 21 days of going complaint-free, their health improved, their relationships improved, and even their finances have improved. So I did this for 21 days, and it changed my life. I became happier, healthier, and even improved my finances also. Who wants to take this 21-day challenge and change their lives? It changed mine. Do you want to change yours?
Yes. Yes.